What's up, Rubits? Little Big Robots back with quick video. Non-quick video, but you get what I mean. If you like little versions of big robots and some action figures and dolls and stuff, basically toys, subscribe to this channel. I'm going for, I need 4,000 by the summer. I don't know why. It's just some goal I've set. Arbitrary goal. But these are the Dungeons and Dragons Online, not Dungeons and Dragons animated series figures based on the, I believe it was 1983 series. What do they have, a little dice with them? That would be interesting. Oh, by the way, this in the background is a empty beer, like bottle holder. And I'm using that for action figures lately. It looks like it's going to work out. Anyway, these were great. But you might have heard that one of the issues they had was that the quality was, the quality control was a bit hit or miss. They were falling apart, like literally their hands would fall off and stuff. And so if you just hang on, you'll see them go on clearance, and sure enough, they're already on clearance. So I went ahead and grabbed the 3. Will I be getting the others from this rest of the series? No, because the other characters I didn't care about. The Dungeon Master was okay with the evil guy. I can't remember the names, but this was literally a cartoon that I was part of my growing up, because I am that old. So I always think it's funny, you see people talking about figures and stuff, and so many of them these days are still from that golden era of Saturday morning cartoons where they were worried that they were selling to kids too much and had to curb that behavior. I really actually like these packages though. I really like this look. I like the non-plastic fronts as much as people I know that collectors want the plastic front because they're afraid without it they can't see the face paints and stuff. With some of these figures it doesn't matter because they're not printed faces, they're like made of plastic. But I love the non-plastic front because that's just more room for printing a picture, an image or something, so you get this cool kind of thing. Let me go take everything out. Oh, it does come with a dice. It's kind of interesting. I don't know why it comes with a dice. To encourage children to participate in Satanism, no doubt. I played D&D as a kid in the 80s, and it played a lot because while it was fun, it also, the rules were nowhere near I don't want to say robust these days, but there's just so many more resources now. If you want to play it, you can play online with friends virtually, so you can have like virtual maps and stuff. It's really cool. We played, actually on this channel, we streamed it on my Twitch, and they would upload the episodes on this channel, and we played it online and really liked it. So let me grab all this out of here. There's Barber. So this is some really interesting parts so far, but it was a real shame to hear about the quality control, because these are originally $24. $24 seems to be the kind of spot that action figures are going for now, price-wise. $24, $25, but as you start to get up higher, you get closer to 30. $40, easy for figs to get $40. You start to really, question whether they're worth it or not. At the same time, action figures are better than they've ever been now. So, okay, so let me move my little keyboard from my computer. Like I said, these were came out in 1983. I would have been 9. So this is my least favorite guy here. I think his name is Hank. What a typical name. Hank. Just initially off of the bat, I absolutely love this kind of new style of figure where there is some printed eyes here, but it's like the hair is really obviously a separate part. I mean, there's a lot of figures where they have separate parts, but I love this kind of rubberized plastic. I don't like it for customizing because painting it is a real hassle, but I love how these new figures feel. The Fortnite figures from Hasbro feel that way. See, that foot is really loose all of a sudden, while this one is quite a bit tighter. So you're already seeing some. I could see what people are talking about. Some of the green is a little bit more flat here. Let me put this light up more. Hold on a second. Sorry. There we go. Some of the green is a little more flat, while some of it is a little more like satin. You can even see there in the knee, you have a different kind of shade almost. So let's see. Whenever you're bending a figure for the first time, make sure you grab it like from here and here, because you could easily see how far back if we're going to get that double bend without any issues. It doesn't seem real strained or anything, but it definitely feels a little chancy there. They were saying the feet had some issues, but I'm not really seeing. Oh, you can see if I just try to bend it forward, you can already see. Look at that. Look at that. There's like a nub mark there. I mean, this is one of the reasons I stayed away from, and I'm sure a lot of people did stay away from buying the first season. The paint is off a little bit there. The first series, the first batch, is because they heard of these quality issues, but also there's just so many figures out now that unless this is something you kind of grew up on or whatever, you might not want it. A lot of people just get figures just because they want the figure. I tend to get things because you know, they mean something to a little bit more. Let me turn that down just a bit. There we go. That's gonna be easier. I don't know. Feels great so far. I haven't seen an issue, but I am worried because I didn't buy doubles. These weren't necessarily. Hank here could be for customizing, because Hank I don't care about. I never really cared for his character much. But other than that, they have your usual kind of movement and stuff and feel great. It is kind of nice that they're that tight, so they should hold a position. This was his crazy bow and arrow from the cartoon. It was like a magic bow and arrow. As a matter of fact, it didn't really even show up. I thought, did it have, I guess it had the physical wood part first. I thought it wouldn't even show until he pulled the string back. It would kind of just appear in the air, but I guess I'm wrong. Oh, so here is, maybe I'm right. Look at that. Maybe it lights up as he pulls it. I'd have to go back and check out some of the clips. It's been, like I said, several years since I have watched, you know, anything like this. But I mean, overall, I think his quality is there. But it does feel like you just on the edge of snapping some of those parts. But that, so you could put your own string. That's kind of cool. They gave you could put a real string if you wanted to make like an archer other than just the magic guy. So his arm, he should be able to fold it back, and then, is it double jointed? See, I want him to be able to, otherwise you're going to have to turn it at an angle, and he'll be shooting it at an angle like that. But I want him to be able to put it up closer to his chest. Be really awesome if they made him posable where he could put it up to his face like he was a real archer. So very cool. Worth $25? I don't think so. You're going to know what this is, what they call a 4-sided die, in case you never played, or 8-sided die, in case you never played. A 4-sided die is simply a triangle. It's kind of interesting. So if you never played, so you roll that, and that's how you get 8 different sides on a dice. It's always been interesting to see how D&D did that. My second favorite guy was this guy. This was, I forget his name, Bobby. Bobby was the kid. He was like a little kid. And he, with his older siblings or whoever these were, would perform Satanist magic, according to the 80s back in the day. I remember hearing all about the Satanic Panic and all that thing like that. But we were, that was closer. Look at that. I'm having a real hard. There you go. That was closer to, I want to say late 70s, real early 80s, like 81. I would have only been like 6 or 7. So I wouldn't have really been on that. We didn't get into it till maybe 85, you know, but I remember playing, and also I remember the cartoon, because of course they showed it in, you know, like in syndication and reruns and stuff. You can watch it on YouTube now. See that? Oh, look, I tried to bend his knee. Look at that. That is crazy. I think what they're doing is they're just having an issue with the joints just being way too tight. And so people are pushing them to the limit without really supporting them all the way, which is not something you normally have to do that bad. And they're snapping the joints. But you can also see some quality control issues just with the the plastic and stuff. Some of it is just, you can see seam lines really like flash there and stuff, really obvious. Bobby was cool because he had just a simple club. He was a barbarian. See there? So his club was really simple. It literally was just like a stick. And I remember thinking, I thought that was kind of dumb as a kid, but at the same time, it kind of really works. You know, he can hold it and stuff. So he definitely looks cool. I love the helmet. It's always been a little oversized on him. It's always funny if you look at it. He's dressed in like a loincloth and like a, and that's it. So poor kid's got to go run around in his underwear and they're showing all the different locales and stuff. So he's pretty cool. I'm sure he probably stands very. Oh, do they have a hole? They do have holes for the feet, for stands or anything. So that's cool. I think they look great. They're a great representation of the cartoon, but he has a, what side is that? But on your shelf they look good. It's just a shame they could snap. I think this is a 12-sided. Yeah, it looks like 12-sided dice. So you can see I love D&D and just a dice. That's a whole industry in its own, because you know, you can see how they can manage to get up to 100. I think it's 100 side on one dice. This is Uni. The unicorn he comes across is kind of like the staple annoying character, kind of like the Jar Jar Binks kind of style character that, you know, so many things in the 80s and stuff had. Or, you know, she wasn't that bad. She didn't speak, but she'd like, that kind of stuff. But this is actually a really neat. I predict that this little unicorn here one day will probably be a pretty sought after little piece, because a lot of people won't need it and will just chunk it or play with it and throw it away. And it's pure white, so it's going to get dirty. This was my favorite when I was a kid. She's got a 20-sided, looks like, die. Yeah, so 20-sided. Again, if you haven't played D&D, you really should. This is Diana. Excuse me. When I was a kid, of course, I was 10 or so watching this, and I remember having a crush on this cartoon character, which is probably explains how weird I am. But if you think about it, it's also really interesting. Not only is she a person of color in a show about D&D, which at the time was probably almost exclusively like marketed to or created by young white kids or white people. I liked her staff. It was pretty simple. And then she's got a cool effect, like a spinning effect staff, which I thought was interesting. You know, like she's spinning it around. So you could show it like she's, you know, defending herself by... That's actually really cool. I like the special effects stuff sometimes. But, you know, so she was like not only a person of color in a cartoon, which you didn't think about it. How many did you see, you know, in minor roles? But she was a major character. She was one of 5 or 6 or whatever characters. And she had parts, and she, you know, went on the adventures and stuff. And, you know, was playing a pretty interesting role. So I remember as a kid definitely noticing her and just thinking the character was really cool. I think her staff actually, it went from this version. I thought it shrunk down. I need to rewatch some of it. But you can see it kind of shrink down or something. That's interesting. But she's great. She looks great. So far, I don't see too many issues with her. But with the really thin arms, that might be... That's much more of a problem when you get to really thin joints, because you can much more easily break a joint like that. The heads aren't any problem. They're actually a little bit loose. It's like it's hit or miss. It's like some joints are super tight, like the legs. Oh, hers aren't bad at all. See, it should be more like this, where you can just, there's some grip there, but you can easily bend these. Now see, oh, good. So she's definitely got a little bit more flexibility built in that's not so bad. So I'm not seeing this, I'm not losing any parts yet, but I can definitely feel some of them are on the edge, especially like right here when I was trying to bend his knee. See, I'm trying to bend his knee on the second kneecap, not the upper one, but the lower one. And look at that, look at his leg about to pop out of there. See that? That's a real shame. So something like that, you're going to need to just leave alone, or take a pair of pliers somewhere where you can get a grip just around that area like that and grip it really hard and pull that back if you wanted to bend his knee. I'm sure the other one's the same way. Oh, no, see, that one came real fast. Came out real fast. wonder if you could, no, see, I'm afraid to do it. So the upper knee on that one works, the lower knee on this one works. It's just a real shame. But with her, stuff is much easier. There's no problem at all, but it's still holding its position pretty well. So that's a shame. That's a shame they had that quality control issue. They might have, I don't know who they came with, who they went with for a producer. It's a Hasbro, and the Fortnite characters they make are fantastic. I haven't had any issues with Fortnite ones as far as bending and having problems, but that doesn't guarantee it doesn't happen. But supposedly this was just a really common issue with these guys, to the point where people were canceling their pre-orders for the next wave and stuff. I don't know if that's true or not, but what I do is instead of doing, I wonder if his helmet comes off. Instead of doing that, instead of canceling stuff, just do what I do and wait, and those things will be on sale in no time. Like I said, my local HEB, as in Henry Echo Bravo, will put stuff on sale all the time, and they're carrying major toys now. So not bad. Glad to have Diana. I wanted her real bad. I thought she's just really, really cool looking. I love the hair, the headdress thing. You know, the details are pretty good. They could be a lot better, but they're pretty good. So not bad. I'm glad I have them, and I'm glad I have them for half off especially. Anyway, have a good day, everybody. I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.